Okay, so I am going to review the clinical phlebotomy paperwork for students just as a reminder because I know it can be confusing. So when you go into your clinical phlebotomy course, I want you to go ahead and go to modules, and you will see here that there are, in each clinical week, there are 3 pieces of paperwork that needs to be submitted each week. All this paperwork will be due on Sunday evening of the week you just completed. So when you look at the timesheet, when you complete the timesheet, you'll see it here. And this is what your timesheet will look like. So make sure you put your name, your location, and what week you are on. And then you're going to put in the date, the time you arrived, and the time you left for the day, and add up your hours for that day. And you're going to, if you're only there Monday and Tuesday, you'll fill in Monday and Tuesday only. Your last day you're there for the week, which if it's Monday and Tuesday, it will be Tuesday. You're going to put your supervisor, will put her name, his or her name, and their signature. Now the timesheet must be fully completed and submitted in Canvas by Sunday at 11:59. If you do not have a supervisor signature, it will cost you points, and you have to have their signature because this is a legal document that I confirm that you did your total hours at clinical. Remember, you have to do 100 hours. So I need to make sure you are meeting that requirement. So make sure the supervisor signs it. Otherwise, anyone can just fill out the form. So that it must be signed by your supervisor or whatever phlebotomist you're working with that day. Okay, that's your timesheet. The next one you have to complete is called your self-evaluation form. This also must be completed by you. And this is basically you telling your instructor how you are doing in class. So you are going to rate yourself and then explain why you chose that score, and then you're going to answer these questions. In number 5, I want you to keep track of the number of successful venipunctures and unsuccessful venipunctures. So like I said in class, get a notebook, put it in your pocket, and count. Every time you do a successful one, give yourself a hash mark, and every time you get unsuccessful, give yourself a hash mark. This is for the week, okay? Any capillary sticks that you get, you're going to count them as well. And then if you do any specimen processing, which is centrifuging and organizing specimens to send to the laboratory. Even urine samples. If you process urine samples, that's considered specimen processing, and you're going to give yourself a hash mark. You're going to add those up at the end of the week, and you're going to submit this into Canvas. Okay, just a reminder, there will be an automatic 10-point deduction for each day the evaluation forms are submitted after the due date. You notice here it's due on October 29th. It is open till October 31st. That's 48 hours after. Once the assignment is locked, it will result in a 0. So make sure you get them turned in on time, and every day it's late, you'll lose 10 points. So if you turn it in on the 31st, that would be an 80%. Okay? There will be an automatic 10-point deduction if the evaluation forms are not filled out completely or lack the appropriate signatures. So make sure you fill it out in its entirety. Otherwise, you will lose 10 points. And that goes for the timesheet as well. The last form that you're going to fill out for the week is called your evaluation form, and this is your preceptor's evaluation form. So whoever your phlebotomist that you're working with that week, they're going to fill this out. And it's just an evaluation form where they're going to give you 5 for excellent, 1 for unsatisfactory, and then if they don't watch you do it, this would be not applicable. So each one of these, like if you don't do any, let's see, entering requisition and patients into the lab information system, if you don't do that, that's going to be NA, not applicable. Make sure they sign it. No signature, it's not valid. So you will lose a deduction, and I'll probably send it back to you for you to resubmit. So make sure it gets its signature, and that's going to be each week. Okay? So those are the 3 forms you need to turn in every week. The other thing that you need to do each week is you will have a weekly assignment that's due on Sunday night. This is set up like a discussion post, but you do not need to respond to anybody. You just need to answer these questions and upload it here in your reply box. So each week you will have a weekly assignment that is for you to review some information that you learned in class, and you're taking what you learned in clinic and applying it to what you learned in class. So you're going to be doing some comparison. So you have those each week. Not every student goes every week, so if you're not assigned that week, that means you're probably not there that week. So you will not be assigned and you'll get an exemption. You will not have to do it that week. The other thing that you'll find in here is week 3 and week 5 are some ASC pre-practice exams. You have time limit is 100 minutes. I'm actually going to take that off. There's no reason to have a time limit, so I'm going to eliminate that. You do have 2 attempts, and then after you complete your attempts, you can review the questions. I want you to take your time on these. These are for you to practice. They're not worth a lot of points. I want you to use your notes. I want you to use your textbook. I want you to use everything you have access to learn the material and study for your AACP exam. So there's 2 of those that you'll have throughout the course. At the end of the course, when you're in your final week, you're going to get a final preceptor evaluation form. This is the last form. That last week, they're not going to fill out the weekly preceptor form. They're going to fill out this competency form. And it looks like this. And this is the final form, the last week you're there, that I want the preceptor to fill out. And this paperwork just shows me that you are ready to sit for your AACP exam. So it's really important that you complete this, that your preceptor or supervisor or phlebotomist, whoever worked with you the most, completes this. And you can give this to them early if you want, so that they can kind of get an idea of what they are looking for. Let me download that since it's taking too long to open. So it will look like this. And if I see any needs improvement when you turn it in, I will reach out to you and have you come talk to me and see if we need to address it. Because really, if we need improvement, you're not ready to sit for your AACP exam. So I'm going to want to see why did they think you need improvement, and see if there was any questions or concerns with that. So that's kind of what this form is for. Okay? Make sure at the end it is signed. If it's not signed, it's not valid. So it must be signed. I think I've made that very clear. Make sure you get all your paperwork signed. And then going back to the course, on your final week as well, if you look at week 8, which are 7, your clinical week 7, a lot of you guys aren't going to be in clinical week 7. I think I have one student that might be in clinical week 7. But there is some paperwork that you need to fill out and submit to me. And then I think I was talking to Miss Langford, and I think we will send it to you via email as a PDF so you can upload it to your AACP registration as a PDF. So this is your board of certificate. This is your training form. So you're going to fill out the top part of this form, and then up here, and then I'm going to fill out the bottom part of it, and then I will send it back to you via email as a PDF, so you guys will have it. I will also be sending you a letter of authenticity, which just a statement as me saying that you're ready to sit for your exam and you completed all the requirements to sit for your exam. You will need to keep track of this as well. So this is your venipuncture log, and this is how you prove that you did 100 clinical venipunctures during your clinical rotation. So a lot of people fill this out wrong, so please listen carefully. So the student name goes here, your facility name is going to go here, and then when you're all done at the end, your last day, have your preceptor sign and date it. But each week, you're going to fill this section in. So if you had orientation, you would write orientation, how many hours you did orientation, and if you got any successful venipunctures or capillaries, and then you want your supervisor to sign it. Okay? Then you're going to do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, whatever it is, and each week you're going to add up your hours, your venipuncture totals, your capillary totals, and then you want your supervisor, your phlebotomist, or whoever you worked with that week to initial it or sign here, just like we did in class where I signed each one. You're going to do it by the week because otherwise there's not enough room on here. So each week you're going to indicate that. When you get done at the end of your rotation, I want you to add up your total venipunctures, your total capillaries, and your total hours, and then get it signed. All of that information needs to be completed. Please complete all information and totals before submitting. Make a copy for your own records. So make sure you keep a copy for yourself, but this submission will be for me to send off to ASCP if they have any questions. So this form is super important. So make sure you have it on your first week of clinicals. And if you're wondering where can I find these forms, they're in each one of the assignments, but also in your Welcome Start Here, there's a site or a page that says externship forms. You can find all the forms that you need here if you need to print any of them up. Okay? So, other than that, that's the paperwork and that's how this course runs. You can review the ASCP Board of Certification exam. Really how you register and get started is your step-by-step application process. You can look at that. And then the orientation, make sure that you do the discussion post. This was due yesterday, so hopefully everybody got it done. If not, I think it's open for a couple more days. And then make sure you review the syllabus, because I have to make sure every student has looked at this course before I can move forward with you staying in the course. So that is everything I have for you. So if you have any questions, you're always welcome to email me. But this should be a general overview of the class for you.